who, like Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant before him, enters the NBA as a teenager. Now in his third year and very polished, his game is rising as Iverson takes it inside on Williams. Snow to Owens. Bumping in to Carter with a drive inside. Picked up by Lynch, and he tosses it up and in.
Billy Owens has a lot of ability, and particularly one-on-one. He can handle the ball, he can pass the basketball. But I think Larry would love for him to get a little bit more juiced up. And I definitely feel that if he plays well, you're going to have a lot better game offensively for everybody.
Vince Carter has started 2 of 2 from the field.
And that's exactly what the coach wants him to do in the first quarter, because he indicated that he didn't worry. Vince seems to feel, Butch Carter seems to feel that Vince wants to get his teammates acclimated early in the ball game and wants to take over the end. He wants him to start early.
Iverson feeding to Owens, and a whistle and a foul blown inside. And they'll put it on Billy Owens, who is picking up his first right there.
Well, and this is an example of Vince Carter just hustling and getting down the floor. And if you got to touch him, because if he gets down on the break and gets like that and starts to get the team juiced up by dunking the ball, that's not going to help anybody. You know, and looking at the Sixers, I think Larry Brown had some concerns today about their defensive intensity also, and Allen coming back and Geiger coming back.
Davis flying in, can't tap it in. Geiger the rebound, outlet caught by Iverson. Works into Williams, blows by him, tried to feed to Lynch, and picked up by Owens. A great fake and a whistle and a foul blown inside on Antonio Davis.
Both teams have to become a little bit more concerned with boxing out. Both of them are getting offensive rebounds that they should not be getting, and I'm certain both coaches are upset about that.
So at the free throw line, as you take a look at Butch Carter. And here's Billy Owens, who has been traded 5 times into 5 teams in his 9 seasons. And the most disappointing thing about his career is that he has seen his scoring average, John, drop since 1993 every subsequent year to this year.
Well, and it's the reason why he's played with a lot of teams also, Kevin. You know, this young man, I had an opportunity to coach against him for several years when I was at Georgetown. It's nothing on a basketball court that he can't do at both ends. I think the biggest question is whether he wants to be in shape and whether he wants to increase his intensity level, because he certainly does have the ability.
21 games last year for Seattle for Billy Owens, and here comes Vince Carter. George Lynch, one of the top thieves in the NBA, one of the top 10 stealers, and a pass was shaken off by Carter, who hits it from outside, and he had someone open there, but he's got that good feel now, and he started, John, 3 of 3 from the field.
And that's a bad sign for the 76ers, because as Butch Carter says, that once he gets off good and starts to play, they're a lot better team, particularly early in the ball game.
Eric Snow hits from outside, and they usually don't count on Snow for offense. He's mostly a defensive player.
They usually don't count on anybody for offense, but Iverson, if he's making 80% of the offense.
Nice start for Toronto. And the Raptors on top by a point as McGrady drives on Snow, lofted inside, pickpocketed by Iverson, then a subsequent foul was put on Tracy McGrady. Iverson said he wants to lead the league in scoring and steals, both.
Well, and he's very good at stealing, but one of the things about stealing a basketball, a lot of times you don't stay in front of the guy that you're guarding, and that's what Larry is concerned with.
And a timeout on the floor.
And I understand what he wants. He wants me to just come out and just dominate the game for 4 quarters. And yeah, it's a new role for me. I'm just used to being that guy, the outlet. Whenever things are going wrong, okay, that's when I'm gonna be there to save the day if possible. And now it's a little different. I need to start to save the day in the beginning of the day, so to speak. So I'm learning, I'm adjusting.
And you'd expect that. I mean, he's got 6 points already. He is the focus of the offense, but he's also a guy that's got to play about every part of this game, too.
Well, he's got to play every part, but humility is an attribute that doesn't have its place on a basketball court sometimes, particularly when you have the kind of talent that Vince Carter has. Butch Carter wants to see him to get out there and really be more aggressive early in the ball game. He's unselfish, too unselfish.
No changes for either team. Here's a shot by Iverson, which is no good. Gets his own rebound and works it again with the fresh 24-second shot clock. And under 7 to play here in the first quarter. Iverson again spinning, driving, popping it up and in. Nice play by Allen Iverson.
Well, it's interesting. Larry Brown indicated it happened that time that with Allen coming back, they might not have as much movement because of the other players' dependency on him offensively out there.
Charles Oakley from outside, and that is his area, top of the key on in as Iverson comes the other way. Working on Carter, the drive, and the shot, and a foul. Inside, Carter was defended.
Well, in looking at Allen, I don't think he's guilty of that attribute of humility. Vince Carter, he's going to take the shots when he gets the shots.
We talked to Butch Carter, the coach at Toronto today, and he said they want to go right at Iverson because of that thumb injury. He missed 10 games with a fractured right thumb, but he was not shy, Butch Carter, about going up against Iverson's
well, and I found that very interesting that he said that he said he wanted to be aggressive and go right at him because he wanted to test his thumb. But I can tell you one thing, Allen would play with one hand. And you can test him all you want to.
Approaching the halfway point of this first quarter. Raptors are shooting 56%. Alvin Williams, who began the season as a starter, then went to the bench. Now has come back to start his second consecutive game. And out of bounds. And it will be Philadelphia's ball as we send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, as you mentioned, Iverson returned to the starting lineup more than 3 weeks earlier than was initially feared. Now, it comes as no surprise to coach about the fact that he's back because of his addiction and passion for the game, but it came as a medical surprise to Dr. Jack McPhillamy, who set the bone 22 days ago. When they took the cast off Thursday, the bone had been torn apart and had healed down Saturday. Iverson's persistence, they activated him Saturday, nearly 3 weeks earlier than initially thought.
Thank you, Craig. And he's got some kind of a wrap on it tonight as you take a look at the field goal percentages, and a foul is called, and they put this on Iverson. And the inbound will come from McGrady. Lynch right on Carter, and that's how the 76ers coach Larry Brown said he wanted to play him tonight. As a shot to the eye. Look, I think it's a contact is on the floor from Eric Snow. Geiger picks up the foul. There it is right there. The cameraman David Husney has got a good shot of that, and I think Allen Iverson, in fact, is the one who handed it to him. As you see the drive there by Carter. There's our man David. And they'll put Tracy McGrady at the free throw line for the Toronto Raptors. McGrady was raised in Florida and North Carolina, the high school player of the year. And when Isaiah Thomas was in charge of the basketball operation with the Raptors, he made this kid his first pick.
Well, I think the problem he presents is that Snow's got to cover him. And that time he went down into the post up. And when you get a guy with his size, that creates a problem because the 76ers backcourt is not that big with Snow and Allen in the backcourt.
Snow is out. Aaron McKee has taken his place as you take a look at Owens feeding to Iverson. The drive and the finger roll, and the rebound is yanked down by Charles Oakley. And here comes Williams the other way with Iverson right there. Carter working on Lynch. Like we said before, Lynch the best defensive player on the 76ers.